The gentleman is recognized for 5 minutes.
I thank the gentleman. Mr. Speaker, I want to begin by setting the record straight. I have heard my friends on the other side talk about this resolution as calling for withdrawal, as calling for retreat. There is nothing in this resolution that says withdraw. There is nothing in this resolution that says retreat. There is nothing in this resolution that says exit. What this resolution says is that we support our troops, and we do not believe that it is a good idea to add 20,000 more troops to a policy that has not worked. In October of 2002, I voted to authorize the use of force in Iraq. I believed then, as I believe now, that the Middle East is a dangerous place, and that you have to use a combination of hard power and soft power to help change the trajectory of the Middle East from a place that teaches kids how to blow things up to a place that teaches kids how to put things together. In January of 2005, I visited our troops in Iraq, and I remember sitting with General Casey and asking him how many foreign fighters are here and how many insurgents. And at that point, January 2005, the general said, Congressman, there are about 500 foreign fighters and there are about 5,000 insurgents. And so what do? We committed more force to try and solve that problem. And then I went back to Iraq in April of 2006, 15 months later, and I asked General Casey, how many foreign fighters are there and how many insurgents? And General Casey said, Congressman, there are 5,000 foreign fighters, used to be 500, now 5,000. There used to be 5,000 insurgents, now there are 20,000 insurgents. And so what did? We threw in more force. And now, a year after that, we stand here debating a resolution on whether we should commit another 20,000 troops to a mission that is poorly planned, from a military that has been strained by that poor planning, and that is ill-conceived. Now, I want to be very clear, Mr. Speaker. If the President of the United States asked me to support additional troops into Afghanistan tonight to find Osama bin Laden, who, by the way, was the one who killed over 100 of my constituents, or to stop the resurgence of the Taliban, which, by the way, was the group of people who really gave aid and comfort to the enemy, I would vote for that tonight. I absolutely would vote for that tonight. But this decision by the President to put 20,000 more people into Iraq is the wrong number, at the wrong place, at the wrong time. Now, Mr. Speaker, during this debate, I've heard my colleagues talk about the messages that we're sending our troops and how it will affect their morale. And I have an obligation as somebody who supports our military to suggest that if we had given our troops up armor for their Humvees, Kevlar for their vests, night vision goggles that worked, and consistent rotations, their morale would be much better. Our troops are not afraid of democracy being waged on the floor of the House of Representatives. And in fact, in the chance that our enemies are listening to this debate, let me suggest that this debate doesn't give aid and comfort to our enemies. It tells our enemies what democracy is about. So for our enemies who may be listening, welcome to democracy. This is what it sounds like, this is what it looks like, and this is what we're willing to fight for. What our service members deserve to hear is the truth. What they deserve is a government that confronts reality rather than simply hoping for the best. So here's the truth, Mr. Speaker. Somewhere between those who believe that we can stay the course in Iraq indefinitely and those who believe that we should leave Iraq tomorrow is the painful truth. The truth is that neither of those options will work. Now, if you agree with me that that is the painful reality, then you're left with a hard choice. Add 20,000 troops to continue the administration's ineffective plan, or try something different. 20,000 additional troops to Iraq, or rebuild our readiness here at home to deal with the growing challenges of Iran, or naval expansion in China, or genocide in Darfur, or the other dangers in the world. Hold the Iraqi government accountable for accelerating the training of their troops, or continue hoping for the best while putting the burden on the backs of 20,000 more U.S. troops. Let me make two other points. The gentleman who preceded me, my friend from California, said, well, what do you have to offer? We have offered ideas. We've offered ideas from day one. The problem has been this stubborn resistance by the administration to listen to our ideas. I have been advocating with my friend from California, Ms. Tauscher, a status of forces agreement in Iraq so that we would send the message that we're not occupiers, that we don't want to be there for one day longer than we need to be. The administration has rejected that. I've been advocating with my friend from Pennsylvania, Mr. Carney, a one-for-one resolution. May I have an additional 1 minute?
I'm happy to yield the gentleman an additional 2 minutes.
The gentleman is so recognized for an additional 2 minutes.
I thank the gentlewoman. I and others have been advocating a formula, a one-for-one formula that says that for every Iraqi security force that stands up, an American will be redeployed. So we have provided ideas. And I want to once again offer a bipartisan invitation to my colleagues to work with us. Because whether this resolution passes or not, the war is not going to end the next day. We still have many challenges ahead, and we're going to have to work together. And finally, Mr. Speaker, let me make a point about some of the characterizations that we have been listening to. As a Democrat, I know that there is not a single Republican who wakes up in the morning wanting this war to last for one day longer than it has to last. And in the same spirit, I am offended by anyone who would suggest that there is a Democrat who gives aid and comfort to the enemy, who wants us to be defeated, who wants us to lose. That's not what we are about. We need to end the sound bites and the partisanship and the war rooms off the floor of the House that tells people what to say and begin formulating effective policy for the troops that are listening to us tonight. I visited my VA hospital yesterday, and I saw men and women in wheelchairs and gurneys. It didn't say Republican or Democrat on those wheelchairs and gurneys. When the time came, they went to fight for us. Our obligation is to stand by them, not with sound bites, not with policies that haven't worked before, but with new ideas for a stronger country. I thank the gentleman. I yield back the balance of my time.